And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. With me, I have Tomeka, and of course, I have Anthony with me as well from ACS Universe. And Abby might be joining us in a few minutes, and I'll end up queuing her in whenever she comes in. But we're going to be reviewing Robocop, the 1987 version. I can't wait to get this party started with this, so let's go on ahead. Let's do it.
What up?
What's up, man? What's up, Tomeka? How are you?
I'm just mimicking the intro. You know how you guys move like this.
Side to side.
And Alex.
I gotcha. But I just want to say it's a privilege to be able to have you guys here on the show talking about Robocop 1987. This is actually one of those movies I haven't seen since my childhood. Mm-hmm. So I went back and I'm glad I actually rewatched this. And, you know, I bought this movie in high def because I just wanted to see someone get shot in the dick in high def.
Wait a minute.
That's all so this was actually a perfect movie to buy in high def if you want to watch someone get shot in the dick. So, you know. Yeah. But all in all, this was a fun rewatch. How about for you guys?
Yeah. What a good intro. What do you guys think? I don't know how to follow
that. I remember when the first time I saw that, that was absolutely that shit was fire. Like just the way he targets it, and it's a good. But anyway, first off, appreciate the invite, man.
No problem.
We talked and you told me about this, and I was like, yeah, let me, because it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I didn't. I'm old enough to have seen it in the theaters, but I didn't because, back in the day, nobody was going to take me to see the R-rated Robocop in fucking movie theaters. But I ended up seeing it, once it released on like VHS and probably rented it or whatever. But it's fire. And just like you, I rewatched it just like a week and a half ago, just to familiarize myself with it. But it still holds true. It's also funny that when you say what we're talking about, you have to mention the 87 version because there was another one that came out.
Trust me, I wish Will Smith would come over here and MIB me to where I didn't remember that last one.
Oh man,
that was really bad.
I guess I don't remember watching the modern one. I guess it's the equivalent of the modern Dread. You remember that?
The modern Dread is fire though.
The modern Dread. Some people don't like it, but I like it.
Yeah, I think it's dope. The modern one was just, I don't know, man. It's remaking RoboCop is I don't know. It just didn't sit well. Nothing against Joel Kinnaman. He did it. He was hired to do a job and he did it. I think they kept the essence of it, but it was not the same. So.
But yeah, let me just go on ahead and talk about the opening and stuff like that too, real quick. So basically, this movie had a budget of $13.7 million and made $53.4 million at the box office. Not too shabby for a movie that came out in the 1980s. Nope. Another thing too is I want to point this out. I didn't see this in theaters. I saw this on VHS. I was 10 years old when I seen it. No, maybe even 5 or 6. I seen this movie.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. I just remember the action sequences and just loving the aspect of it, the sci-fi and things like that. And I had no clue what anything else was about. I was just there for the action sequences and watching RoboCop shoot some people, arrest some people, and that's what I was there for.
In the dick.
But then, in the dick. But still. So anyways, in a near future dystopia, Detroit is on the brink of societal and matter of fact, a financial collapse. Overwhelmed by crime and dwindling resources, the city grants the mega corporation Omni Consumer Products, OCP, controls over the Detroit Police Department. OCP senior president Dick Jones demonstrates ED-209, a law enforcement droid designed to supplant the police. So what did you guys think of that when you first saw that? It was like, you know what? The police are not doing our job, so we're going to get this robot financed that was supposed to be for the military and put this everywhere in Detroit.
It seems like it's not too far off because they have robots go in for bomb detection.
Yeah.
But they don't carry like a giant pistol. So that comes out the side and then you shoot, which was a great product placement for the toy that I always wanted as a kid. Okay, I got it off my chest. But it makes sense, I guess. If the police are overwhelmed, then they have this mega cop that can't be shot down and he comes with armor. But the way that he went through that process was horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's funny because when I first saw the movie, you don't think about that. But now, if you think about that now, there's no way that a corporation is taking over a police department ever. Like it's it's funny because, but it back then, obviously, you obviously don't think about that. But it was a great plot point for the movie to have that be the sort of thing. And Ed 209, I remember the first time I saw that thing when I was that young watching it, it was incredible. I was like, yo, these special effects are fire. And they still hold up pretty well. But you can tell that it's motion stop with the Ed 209 now, as opposed to CG is what they use now. But no, I thought that was good. But I thought that angle on the movie, especially when I rewatched it, that adds a certain level to it that just makes it even better, like more enjoyable. They're like when you watch it after so many years, it's like OCP, like sort of being taken over a police department. Like I said, that would never happen. But if you just think about that and the fact that they sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? They use that to sort of make their company bigger. That we took over the police department, we're helping them, and support OCP and stuff like that. So I thought that was good. That's honestly that's probably one of the best parts of the movie is the fact that OCP sort of took over the police department and did those things.
Definitely.
I don't know. They probably can sometime in the near future if they fund the police and they're like, okay, they're giving us money.
But the thing that I remember as a kid seeing that robot though for the Ed 209, I was thinking that it was actually a lot bigger in size.
Yeah.
And then watching it now, I'm like, that thing is not as big as I had remembered it to be, because I think it might have something to do with the fact that I was little. So I was thinking that thing is going to overtower me. But then looking at it back now, I'm like, okay, this is a little bit smaller than what I remembered. But still, it holds up as far as that goes. As far as the look goes, the stop animation, it may not look clean or whatever like we have CGI, but I think it still holds up the nostalgia factor
it does.
For us. For us. And the part where the 209 goes on ahead, shoots the guy out the window, and then Dick is like, and he goes, look, you need to clean this up. We had we had like a little glitch. He's like,
when I was rewatching that, I was like, yeah, and it's crazy because obviously that's part of the story is for what's his name to take over after. But that shit was crazy because everybody was pushing him back. They was trying, hey, somebody help me. They were pushing him out like, no, we ain't helping you. And he just gets that. It's one of the I'll tell you this. It is over the top violence, and I love every single fucking second of it. He put so many bullets in that dude that his body shouldn't even have been still a piece. And he falls on that thing, the little city model, and he's still shooting. It's dope. It's incredible. Like
it's my favorite scene in the movie, though. To be honest with you, in the office areas, because you have two climaxes that happen. You have that one at the very beginning, and then Dick Jones gets killed in the same kind of fashion by falling out the window by the hands of Murphy.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's dope. Yeah.
Yes. Well, Murphy's death was very
brutal.
overkill.
Oh
It
man.
was like the guy from that 70s show, the
Yeah.
dad
Yeah.
Mhm.
is the villain, and then
Yeah.
it's like, okay. Then he shot his hand off. I was like, dang, it just clean out. It was like blood. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It's wild because like I remember the first time I saw it, and I was under 10 years old, and like you're watching it, and you're like, he's like,
Yeah.
blow his hand off. You're like, ah, like you know what I'm saying? Like you at that point in time, like you hadn't seen something like that in an action movie. You used to like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, those types of movies, but nothing that was like literally that violent where you just saw a hand come off, and it was cool. Like it was cool. Like at the time, you're like, oh shit, but it's dope. That's one of the reasons of the many reasons why this movie's beloved. That's one of them is the over the top, because you're right, Murphy was getting the business, bro. They were like, I was like, how is he still alive? Yeah.
and then they shoot the remaining arm off.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, dang, what the arm did to you? No wonder he was so angry in the 70s show. That's his variant.
oh my god! But this is what I really want to talk to you guys about, though. Too was like when Bob comes over there. He's like, "Look, I have this new prototype. It's fantastic. It's called the Robocop." And then Dick is just not having it. He's not dicking around. He's gonna. And so he goes over there. He's pissed off because Bob took his chance to actually shine. He goes, look, I have this thing. We don't have to worry about this military grade stuff or anything like that. It's not going to malfunction. I already have a plan in motion. And right then and there, he goes on ahead and gets hired on as the person who's in charge of the Robocop and vice president of that for that program. And then I like how the black dude is like, you need to watch your back, Bob.
Yeah, he is.
Look, I can't help it. I took an opening. I took a shot. I saw my landing. I went on ahead and did what I had to do. This is what I do.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah. Damn, Bob they got him, man. He got. And it's funny. It's that that bathroom scene is incredible because he comes in there and they're having that conversation. Everybody knows that Dick's. He's taking a shit. He's in the stall. And everybody knows he's in there. Right. And they're like, "Oh, let's get out of here before he comes out."
Yes, let's get out of here.
And it's such a I think it's hilarious because I personally never worked in corporate America in the 80s, but that's probably what it sort of looked like, and to add that into the movie was dope. And it also added, because their conversation once Dick Jones comes out of the stall and they're having, and he grabbed his hair. I was like, man, I had a plus face. What the fuck? Remember that shit? He's like, he sort of grabbed his hair.
All that was missing was the line of coke.
Yeah, yes, from the 80s.
Yeah.
That came later. That was Bob's last sniff.
Bob, yep.
Oh,
yeah.
They included
the thing that I love. Here's the thing I love about that scene, though, man. Like, okay, so you have him talking shit about his boss, Dick. Then everybody's like, just looking around. Okay, I'm good. I'm just gonna. One guy actually pissed on himself. He didn't even let the thing shake it or anything. He just lets it go in and gets him on his pants. He's good to go. But my favorite thing is Dick goes over to Bob. He goes, I used to talk a lot of shit back in the day when around your age.
Yeah.
I used to call my boss a lot of things. I call him an asshole. Just like how Bob called him a pussy and stuff like that too. But then I like how at the police station, where basically you have this whole entire thing with Lois talks to Murphy and asking Murphy if he remembers her, and at that time the sergeant comes around, and at that point that's when Bob's like, well, I'm the vice president of OCP and I could get you in trouble for this and this, and then after he storms off, then the sergeant goes, what an asshole.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a foreshadowing of how Bob sees Dick, and and as how everybody else is actually seeing Bob in that same kind of light.
Yeah.
So I thought that was actually pretty cool. I never noticed that before up until now.
Yeah. He's go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, because I'm getting all the movies mixed up. Is this the one where they had that little kid that was the gangster?
No, that was part 3.
3.
I think.
Yeah.
3 or 2? 3?
No, that's 2. You're right. That's part 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the dude, yes, the drug dealer. That was yeah.
Okay, go on, Anthony. Forget it.
No, I think it is. It's funny because that bathroom scene, you can easily sort of say Dick is the asshole, but then yes, when Bob comes into the police station to sort of take over their basement for Murphy, he's the asshole now. He literally is. They're like, what are you doing here? I'm the, and yes, he's the asshole. But I like that. I sort of like that because it's funny when obviously we briefly talked about it where the cocaine does show up in the movie, and you sort of see him have to like sort of beg for his fucking life. You know what I'm talking about? Like in that particular scene. But I get that. I like that though. The fact that they made Dick the asshole here, which he's still the overarching asshole, but that the whole movie. But they also Bob he's pretty much the same thing. He's pretty much just younger.
Younger asshole.
Younger asshole, hot shot.
Yeah.
But the stuff with Murphy, though, like you said, Tomeka, when he gets like overkilled and stuff like that, when you see the arm falling off, then you see Lois trying to get to Murphy, and of course she can't, and then she sees him just basically, when you see that happen, you're just shocked, just like how she is, and then you realize, oh, now they're going in through the whole entire deal where now he's going to become Robocop.
Yeah.
And you see, I had this mental block. Like I was thinking, maybe it was rigged to where Clarence shoots a random cop, and then it happens to be Murphy, and that's actually how it happened. But no, it happened because of the fact that Murphy was an organ donor, so therefore they can do whatever they want with him because he's an organ donor.
Yeah,
he signed the police waiver, so I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's something I remember seeing when I rewatched it like just a little bit ago too. Yeah. And it's because he says it. He said, "Did he sign the waiver?" And they go, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right." And he just like Bob, talk about that first like sort of look. It's still cool. I still love the entire transformation process. But when I saw it for the first time, that shit was incredible, dude. When he goes and drills in the little the grid, like, and it's like that. All of that is it still hits. But when I saw that when I was a kid, that was. That's probably the most fire shit I had ever seen at the time. You know what I mean? Like as far as something like that, it was dope. Everything from the arm, and he shakes the arm. He's like, "Oh, that's a hell of a grip he has," and all of that stuff. That all of that stuff was dope, man. It was dope, and I like also in that process. Once he comes into the police station, they sort of don't show him. They show like his back or the side of, you know what I mean? They don't fully show him for a while, all the way until he gets back there and sits in that chair. Then you kind of get a big old glimpse of him. But I like the way that they hit him for, you know what I'm saying? In that whole scene, because they're like, "What the hell would you got?" And everybody just stops and they look as they hear his footsteps. And it's like, and he goes and it's behind the sort of the cloudy glass. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And he walks back there. That was dope. That's good filmmaking because they didn't show him right off the bat. They made you wait to see exactly like him as far as what he looks like, and that was dope. That was dope, man. It was still dope last time I watched it.
Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie. What's up?
But Anthony, going back off of what you said though, and I love the reveal of it. I definitely like how we're, as an audience, just trying to see Robocop for the first time. It's just as much wondering what the hell is behind that glass. And then as this is being revealed, we're just as shocked as the police department is. So that's something I really enjoyed.
Yes, that's a good point. Yeah, yeah. We saw it as the rest of the officers saw it. You know what I mean? And I think that was good. That was good.
But what about for you, Tomeka?
Oh, is it trivia time?
No, the police station, not trivia.
I had a script. Somebody wrote me a script. I thought Robocop was the best cop out there. The only issue is that he can be corrupted because you can put a new program into him. But maybe I'm thinking about Robocop too.
Well, technically you're not wrong, because remember when Dick tried to do that with him, he was, well, you cannot arrest me because I'm the programmer. So therefore, because I'm the programmer, we have it in your system to where you can't arrest me, which made him. So therefore, whenever you see the final scene at the very end where the big person that's in charge of OCP winds up saying, Dick, you're fired. That gave him clearance. He was just basically, he just went on ahead and shot him because of the fact that he ex-nate him and fired him. Yeah,
they put that fourth protocol in his damn it, I'm looking for the right word. They you know what I'm saying? That pretty much in his program, and he had 3 directives that protect the people and stuff like that. But the fourth one, which would say classified, like when they first started talking about it, but it was literally he cannot harm anybody who works for OCP. So once he said once the old man said he's fired, it was fucking game over. You know what I mean? But I do like that. That's also brilliant writing to put that in there so that once you get to a certain point in the movie, you could understand why he didn't take him out. You know, I'm talking about when he came into the office and he brought Ed 209 out there and they had that fucking dope ass battle. And it was shooting. You know, that's. To make that with models and combine it with sort of live action. I mean, we've seen it done before, but this movie, like I know you was talking about, it sort of got passed along because nobody kind of wanted to direct it, and Paul Verhoeven took it over and made it his own or whatever. Just because, and there is a movies that made us on this on Netflix, and it's incredible. Have you seen it? You see,
I have. So as to make a.
Why you get into my script, Anthony?
I ain't trying. Okay, but I'm just, it is that particular detail of it is dope to just to see how much it's loved and how good the movie is, considering all of the stuff that happened. You know what I mean? To just to get it made. And I
do know what you mean.
Yeah, it was you know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot that happened backstage, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to that movie, just to get it made, and the fact that it came out and it was incredible, just as good as it was in Fire. That's dope, man. That's you know what I mean? And it's also Peter Weller's voice is fire.
It is.
It really is. Yeah. It is it trivia time now?
No, that's gonna be at the very end.
Okay.
Patience Young Grasshopper.
I don't have any patience.
It'll be fine.
Corporate America. I don't have patience.
Another thing I forgot about, though, because I've seen this a long time ago, though, was the flashback scenes with the wife and things like that as he's going through the home and stuff like that. I thought that was actually a pretty neat take where he's going through his memory warehouse, through his data processing, and remembering the memories that he has. Because remember, his memory is supposed to be wiped. And so when basically he winds up having that nightmare and then he goes on ahead and drives off. Yeah. And I really have to say I liked how they go from him being out at night and then going during the daytime back to his address. And then seeing the for sale sign on the house. That has to be crushing for him because he's been out of their lives for X amount of time. Because I don't know how many years had passed, but you actually see... Right, because you actually see them celebrating New Year's. Because remember the labs and stuff with the lab people and everything. Like, oh, so he's missing out on everything.
Yeah.
So that was something that I thought was like really brutal this time going in, watching it, and feeling it from Murphy's perspective.
Those scenes were dope.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I wonder with RoboCop how much it influenced the other movies we've seen, like Minority Report or John Wick.
Oh yeah,
they have these memories of their spouses who were reversed, but their spouses are dead, and they have these memories that they hold on to. I mean, I just wonder how much influence RoboCop had on the movies after.
Yeah, I would. I don't know. I mean, people would probably admit it. I would think RoboCop had a lot of influence on a lot of, especially movies like in the 90s, early 2000s, probably, because just the way it was made and the themes that it sort of like captured in the movie and stuff. That's probably pretty legit, like that when it came to Minority Report and stuff like that, as far as, you know, when he would put the little chip in there and watch like excuse me, the old memories and stuff like that. So yeah, that probably was RoboCop is super influential, man. It just is, and it's not even adapting everything they did there, just the actual sort of because RoboCop didn't even cost that much, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you just talked about the budget. It didn't, but it was still like major. And it's still like a big. I think we were talking the other day. If you try to go to Walmart and buy that figure, it's just like $40, bro.
Yeah, it's like $40 for that big, huge.
It's like a RoboCop. Yeah, so it's still a big thing. But as far as that, I know that they in the second movie, they kind of leaned into that a bit more with like the stuff with his, you know, because I think in the second movie, the police department is getting complaints from his wife, right?
Yes,
I think so.
Around. That he
thinks her.
Yes, exactly. And he's just doing it because that's all he knows or whatever. But I did like the way they put it. I love that he went back in the house, and as he left, he got super upset and smashed that little TV that was telling him, you know, this house is for sale or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was
yourself at home, bitch. This is my home.
Yeah, yeah. That's literally. But he just would have said that. Yeah,
it's my home.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
Yeah, no, go on ahead, man.
I was just gonna say that they lean into that a bit more in the second and third movie, more of that sort of thing. I think it was just enough in this first one to sort of give just to let you know where he is, you know, mentally. That was fine. I didn't need any more. That's probably one of the reasons why the second two movies aren't as good as this one, because of the fact that there's certain things that they sort of reach out into, and but the fights in the second one, though, that's the one with the drug dealer, right? Who gets
the little one.
Yeah, I remember that. That was dope. I did actually see the second one in theaters.
I did too, and the third one.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I saw all of them in theaters. Like I said, my introduction to RoboCop, I'm trying to remember as a kid, the toy, which I wonder how much it cost, because I always wanted that toy as a kid, but my mom was like, too expensive, you know.
I had one that had like, I had a RoboCop figure that you put like a roll of caps in the back of them. And
oh yeah, that's the one I had.
Yeah, his back folded out. You put a roll of, you know, like caps, like a cap gun, and it was though. It was as I wish I still had it, because it's probably worth something.
Yeah,
me too. I wish I had that.
Yeah,
I remember back in the day too. Those were like considered the most violent toys that you can buy a kid at the time.
Yeah, because of the movie. Yeah.
I loved it. I loved having that that effect of having like the caps in the back of the back and the smoke going off, acting like that you are the one who's shooting. I thought that was actually pretty cool. And then of course you also have the police cars. You have all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I did want to say right quick. Well, to Anthony's point, this does show the humanity of I want to say Peter Weber, but that's not Murphy coming through. Like, even if they try to make him this machine, And you would think, oh, he doesn't have any memories because they wiped them out.
Mhm.
But it just shows that life finds a way, you know.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
that was
right.
cheesy, but life finds a way, you
You're
know.
right. Yeah, because
Right.
it's crazy that scene where he, you know, what's her name?
Lois or
His partner. Do you know the one that was
yeah, Lois.
Is it
Lois.
Lois?
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, it's
I don't
Lois.
know.
No,
Somebody
Lewis.
Lewis, my bad.
Yeah,
Lewis,
yeah.
Lewis.
Lewis,
I don't know
yeah.
why I kept on saying Lois. My
Yeah,
bad.
but she
Lewis.
when she comes there and meets him at in this which is one of the best parts of the movie. But she meets him at the thing and she brings the stuff that he asked for, you know, she's some baby food and stuff. But when I remember thinking as a kid watching him pull that screw out of his head on both sides. I was like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? Like nowadays, that kind of thing, you'd see that a lot in movies. You know what I'm saying? But like
Right.
at that time, I was like, did that screw just really come out of this cat's head? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh shit, it's fire.
Just the detail of it.
Yeah. But I like that because she was talking about the humanity. Once he takes his helmet off and they have sort of a conversation, that's dope. That's one of my favorite parts of the movie, even though like what happens after that is incredible too. I remember, I will say this, I had a comic book adaptation of the movie.
Ooh.
I got that before I saw the movie. I don't have it anymore. I wish I did because it's probably it's probably worth something. But it was adaptation, and a friend of mine who had seen it, he looked at it, he read it, he's like, oh, some of this stuff ain't exactly like the movie. And I was like, oh, I don't know, because I hadn't seen the movie yet, so I had to wait to see it or whatever. But one part that was absolutely in that comic was old dude hitting that toxic waste, bro.
Oh my god, dude! Like, okay, we're gonna get to that in 1 second, real quick. But Brandy, get this: I'm watching it and everything. Brandy comes over next to me and starts watching it with me, and she's like, "I forgot how good this movie was for its time."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Yeah, I forgot how good it was myself because it's been so long since I've seen it."
Mm-hmm.
And RoboCop just resonates with me because of my childhood. But the toxic waste part where RoboCop just comes out there without his helmet on, standing in the dude's way, and then moves out of the way whenever he gets done shooting the truck and goes into the toxic waste. I'm like, oh my god. He looked like an elf or a goblin by the time he was going to be disfigured. And then Clarence is the guy who winds up finishing him off. Which is also kind of ironic because the fact Clarence was the guy who finished off Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was actually something that was, a little bit of a small callback in a sense.
I questioned it because it reminded me of the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah,
me too.
Which one came out first?
Probably Toxic Avenger. I think the Toxic Avenger probably came out first. If I'm not
influenced with that too, because he looked just like Toxic Avenger.
It was
Toxic Avenger came out in '84. So
it was. Yeah, I think that particular scene, that's one of my favorite that I've just because of the way it hits when it happens, right? And you're like, oh, and the dude hits him with the truck, he just splatters, Clarence hits him, and it's just a cool thing that's in the movie, and it's disgusting and it's ridiculous and it's I love it. I absolutely love it. And that's why, like, when I watched it just a little bit ago, we watched it and shit like last week, I couldn't wait for that scene because I was like, is it going to be as good as I remembered it? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, just and it's gross. Yeah, I got it. It's gross. He comes in, he's like, his face is dripping off of it.
Yes. Yeah, even his partner was like,
yeah, oh yeah, the dude, he said, get up off me, man, get up off me. Remember
he didn't want
the Hispanic dude that they had in their little crew. Yeah, he's getting up off me. Yeah. It's funny and it's gross and it's sort of an unforgettable scene from a movie. You know what I mean? I mean, we all have those from certain movies we watch, but I'll never forget that. Like that
scene always sticks with me, to be honest with you.
It does, and it doesn't stick for anything important. It's just
there.
I remember the first time I saw it, and I was like, that was crazy. Yeah. So it just sticks with Yo, that scene is crazy.
Another thing though that I thought that was actually pretty funny was Bob when he gets killed because of the fact that Clarence comes over to his house, and then he winds up putting the hand grenade on there, and it's like a digital clock on the grenade.
Yeah. I think it's probably just a clock. They just added some prosthetics to it. It's just,
right. I just thought it was funny though to add that there though.
Yeah. That what. Go ahead.
I was just saying it's the future. You gotta put
digital. Right. Everything digital.
Yeah, it was. That's a good. That scene is dope. And we were talking about it she said the whole thing missing was a cocaine. That's where it showed up. But that scene was just when Clarence shows up there. It's sort of like, oh man, Bob, you out of here, man. You know what I mean? Like you already know Bob's out of here. Just when he shoots him in the knees too, so he can't move. I was like, damn.
And then Dick goes ahead and goes, I know that you're on your knees right now.
Yeah. He wasn't, but because he couldn't get on his knees, he shot him off. He literally shot him right in the knees. And that let me tell you real quick, those type of effects that they in this movie are great. I don't know what they call it. They're like squibs or whatever they use for like when people get shot, they explode off of them. So like they did a good job in this one, especially, and we already talked about when Ed 209 shot that dude at the beginning in the comments room, and it was that.
Yeah, and don't forget the shot in the dick too.
Yeah, that was another one.
We opened the show with that.
Hey, that's a great. That's
right, exactly.
I do enjoy that too because it's sort of showing. It's like RoboCop on patrol, and then when they take that girl's purse and stuff, and he like. It's cool because he like aims it up and he's like, and he's
hey, I see it as an eye for an eye and a two for a two kind of thing. So I'm like, okay, well, you're a rapist, so guess what? I'm gonna take away your nuts. That's the way I see it.
Yeah,
clearly he's not gonna run anymore.
No. He's not gonna run all night either. So
what the cops need to do is shoot people in the dick. They won't run.
I need to have that as a shirt now. Shoot him in the dick.
Shoot him in the dick, Robocop.
Oh man, yeah, it's great though.
It's great.
I love it. It's a good scene. It is, man.
Great.
It is great.
I'm making this into a TikTok video now.
It's great. Shooting in the dick is great.
It is, man. It just like at the moment it happens, he's like, he falls down, and the lady's like, she comes and tries to hug him and all of that shit, and he's just like, yo, I just saved your life. Like it's such a good, and that was like they weren't doing shit like that back then. You didn't see that sort of thing, man, like in movies. So that was RoboCop is a classic, man, an all timer. It's an all timer.
Yes.
Another thing I have to say I like is like the little small things with the newscasters, the tour, and also the battleship thing.
The commercials.
The commercials within the movie itself. Yeah, I thought that was actually pretty cool. Yeah, a nice little touch.
Yeah, I thought they were. I can't imagine the movie without them. You know what I mean? Like it's especially you talk about the battleship. It's like you nuking at the house, like bro, you blowing up shit in your living. It was so off the wall. You know what I'm talking about? Like the commercials. I'd buy that for $1.
That needed to be in the remake. I was thinking that they need to have like instead of Samuel Jackson being in charge of OCP, he needed to be the one who was on the TV doing "I'll buy that for $1, motherfucker." Yeah. That's what I would.
I buy that for $1. Like,
dude. All of that was good, and the news would just and the one thing I remember, especially when I watched it just recently, I was like, bro, I'm really glad I don't live in Detroit. God, this fucked up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, well, not now, but I'm talking about like at that point in time. Like, damn,
sure, of course,
right? This is fucked up.
Detroit's lovely. We love Detroit.
Lovely time of the year.
I'm gonna interject trivia in here.
Okay, now you can do that now.
Oh God, I've been waiting my whole life.
Okay, Phil Collins.
Yeah.
Did you know that most of the shots of Robocop and the police car show him getting in and out the car, but Peter Weller didn't fit in the car. He didn't fit in his full costume. You know why? Because he didn't fit. I don't know. But yeah, they only shot him from the waist up because otherwise he's in his underwear. What? Nobody wanted to see him in his underwear, right? So to maintain the
Robocop. I mean,
Robocop. To maintain the illusion that Robocop wears an entire suit while inside the car, most shots were shot with the robotic feet existing first. What? Who wrote that? The screenplay has been offered to and rejected by every big director in Hollywood before Paul Verhoeven. What is it?
Verhoeven.
Verhoeven.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, before he got it. Because I heard he was crazy European. And also, speaking of Netflix, with the movies that made us, the writer was inspired by Robocop when he watched Blade Runner, and he said, "Those don't look like robots. What is that? I need a robotic movie." So he said, "What if I take a robot that is next to this robotic car, this cop car, and I say Robocop." So he put that together and did Robocop for that.
And the rest
I wish I rehearsed the whole thing. I wish I rehearsed these whole trivia facts. I only had them.
You did a good job. You did a good job.
You did.
I had like a whole.
You did a fire trivia. You did good.
I did not do a fire trivia. Do not lie to me.
No, you did good.
5 stars.
Yeah.
But no, with Clarence though, I like how he goes, "It's not me. It's Dick Jones. Dick Jones is the one you want. OCP. He's the one who's running everything. You need him." And he's over there in the cocaine factory. And
gotta have cocaine now,
right? But I like how Dick goes, "Are you a stupid idiot? He has data that's implanted into his brain where he can remember things, and you're ratting him out." And I'm thinking to myself, and then when Dick was actually trying to talk to him after he gets arrested and gets out,
yeah,
I'm like, wait, he rats you out, and then you're still going to give him a job. I'm like,
yeah. You talking about Clarence?
Yeah, when Clarence comes out after he gets out of jail, because remember, Murphy winds up arresting him. Then he calls Dick Jones and tells him, "Hey, look, I'm arrested. I need you guys to bail me out." And
which is why RoboCop shows up at OCP for and then he still, and then when Dick Jones he does let him back in there, which is ridiculous. He gives him like a sort of it gives him a story just to keep him, but it's too late because when RoboCop came in there to arrest him, he already admitted. He said, "Yeah, I killed Bob. I killed him and this and that," and then he just recorded and played that shit. I do like the touch with his data spike. All right, that's what I call it, because he just stick it in the computer and it would just, that was dope. That was dope. That was the first ever thumb drive in 1987.
That's what I was gonna say. The thumb drive.
Yeah. Now we don't have them anymore.
No. What's funny is I used to imitate that with my number 2 pencils in school. I would actually take it and where my middle finger is.
Yo, that was, man, RoboCop was influential, man. That's everything. And that sound that is when he walked and everything about it was just dope, man. And even now, even though like most times when you see like sort of cyborg type characters, they don't move like he does, and his shit is still so he stops and it's like it just they don't usually do that no more in movies, but in Robot, that shit still works, man. It's still like just great. Everything technical about the movie is good, man. And I'm glad that I'm really happy that they were able to get this pulled off. Even though it happened, it's what is it? This we 40 years. What is it? How long ago?
Oh wow, really?
87
years.
Yeah, it's close to it, ain't it?
Goodness.
It came out 87. Let's see, 97, 17. It's
36 years ago.
Yeah, 36 years ago it came out, and it's still incredible. It's still incredible. Like I said, I watched it recently, and I was still like, "Yo, this is dope." Like,
me too.
Yeah, I think it's still incredible because it's like the bare bones. Like now, the movies we see is so much CGI now that we look at it and we're like, okay. But I always thought the creativity from the movies in the 80s, they really get me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this is what they're working with. And sometimes they're working on this shoestring budget and they just make it happen because the creativity is being pushed and forced. And you're not relying on this big budget or CGI or anything like that.
Yeah. And it made its budget. They're good. Everybody involved is good. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Thomas the train coming through. I wonder what he got to say. Does he like Robocop?
But I'd say most people you talk to, especially if they're movie fans, if you mention if you mention Robocop, they know what you talk about, and there's a reason for that. It's because the movie was so good, and it's sort of transcendent as far as, I mean, look, whenever they do a remake of a movie, that means the movie's fire. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't do remakes of movies that aren't good. They do them because it's fire. So they did the remake of RoboCop, and it wasn't that good. It looked good, like the VFX and stuff like that looked good because it was obviously made, when it had been advancements, but nothing's gonna take what the original did in '87. It was it's just a good fucking movie, man.
It spoke to the time too, so maybe that's why the new RoboCop modern one didn't do good, because this one spoke to corporate America, and then at that time we had all this like Wall Street and this corporate nonsense going on now, and RoboCop hit a nerve, and plus whatever was going on with Detroit at the time too.
And also cocaine, man.
Thomas, a hell of a drug.
Cocaine going on. You got people getting shot in dicks.
Shot in
dick, going on.
Cocaine.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Hell of a drug.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh, Thomas is gone.
I think the train is almost gone. I'm not sure yet.
All right.
Yeah, we didn't hear any, but
going ahead, Andy.
No, I'm just gonna say, man. Look, the movie's good, and I sort of like it's after it's been out and it's been a couple decades and things like that, you sort of appreciate it a lot more than when you saw it. Because like I said, when I watched it getting prepared for this just like a week and a half ago, I just appreciated it so much more. And it was like at the end when he goes, "What's your name, officer?" And he turns back, he says Murphy, and it just ends and the music comes on, and then it's like, no, there's no post-credit scenes. There's nothing else. It just says RoboCop, and then the credit, and I'm like, that's incredible.
That's how you end it. You end it on a high note. One catchphrase, and that's it.
And I don't know if you guys have seen Guardians 3, but
I have.
You have?
Yeah,
I haven't yet.
Oh, you haven't? Well, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the it was in the trailers or whatever.
Okay, that's fine.
Damn it, what's his name? I done lost it already. I just had it. The guy, the black guy in that movie with it looks like RoboCop's makeup with his.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and they even say it. That's a joke in the movie that they say he's a RoboCop looking motherfucker because they do say that it's But I think his makeup looks good, but that makeup on Peter Weller Murphy in the movie, it
looks real.
It looks very real, and it still does to this. You know what I'm saying? it's almost and they wanted it to be hard to look at, you know, when he takes his helmet off for the first time.
Right.
It was like, oh, and it is. It's still hard to look at. You're like, oh shit, but it still looks good as far as what they were going for. And yeah, man, it's an incredible film. It's an incredible movie, man. I'm glad you brought me on here to fucking talk about it because I do love RoboCop. I do love it.
I'm glad that you guys wanted to come on here to talk about this. This is actually one of my favorite movies to talk about.
Yeah.
Probably one of my favorite movies of all time to talk about, to be real with you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is.
But anyways, Anthony, do you have anything coming out as far as your content goes and things like that?
No, just the basic stuff. The ACS Universe daily, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, about 6 p.m. Eastern time. And we got 4 Nerds tomorrow evening, and yeah, that's pretty much it. On Sundays I do a show with my homie Dave called Amateur Hour. We talk about everything, including sports and stuff like that. But yeah, man. But yeah, I appreciate the invite to talk about this because I do love
always, man. My door's always open to you. Seriously. If you ever want to come on just talking, I'll be glad to just do a show just on us just talking BS, and I don't care. Same thing with Tomeka too.
It works.
So
okay. I don't think you want me on. You gotta do like
I do.
Content warning.
Hey, I'm the one who's talking about shooting people in.
Opinions of Tomeka are not shared by this show.
Cocaine. What a drug.
What a drug. Hell of a drug.
That's the boy. I'll tell you what, boy.
That was Dave Chappelle, by the way.
Man, goodness gracious. That
I don't do cocaine.
Nah, shit, we know.
we know.
Yeah, we know.
Somebody knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, nah, we know. That Chappelle show is that's classic material. That's great.
So guys, with that being said, do me a favor, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, comment below, tell us what you think of RoboCop, tell us some of your favorite scenes that you liked in it. Did you like the part that I liked with the guys getting shot in the dick? Tell me in the comments below. Did you like, tell me some of the other stuff that you like about the film and everything too. Tell me over there. Don't forget to go ahead, visit ACS Universe. Anthony's doing some great work over there. He's doing the Lord's work over there. So, you know...
I don't know about that, but
don't bring the Lord in this. You talking about getting shot in the dick, and then you talking about turning it on. Sound like a church person. Amen. Pass the plate.
I'm a temporary cap. I'm okay. I'm gonna go now. Anyways, guys, don't forget to go ahead, give me a 5-star review on iTunes and stuff like that. I'll be back Sunday night talking about Shawshank Redemption with the Sleevy G Show. Can't wait to dive into that review, and always until next time, guys. Bye-bye.